y'all. You didn't have to stay here all night. I appreciate the dedication, though. Hey, everyone. I'm Matt, Grafton Branch Homestead. This is Garden Chat with Matt and Garden Tea with Farmer Casey, where it's been 45 minutes to an hour this morning. I'm going to walk through my garden, say hello to everyone, show a few things that strike me as I walk through, and talk about a few things. If anyone has any questions about some urban homesteading or backyard farming or anything like that, feel free to ask or throw in your advice. So here at the Grafton Branch Homestead, we are on slightly under a quarter acre of land, and we are a homestead and training ground where we are developing skills and things now and trying to maximize what we do. So, of course, with learning, gardening and animals and things, just at least for me, don't come quite naturally. And so it does take practice and work. And so we are doing the thing. So you'll see a lot of failures, some successes, but all of it's a success because I'm learning something. Right now, I'm going to stop these little chickens back here from eating the plastic, and then we'll take a look. There we go. So let's see who's in here. Hey, Verna, good to see you. And the sun. Okay. Hey, Psych. Awesome. Welcome. CDB's here. Good to see everybody that's in. So last night we repopulated or moved around our quail. You may have seen. Oh, and I did get a male in there. Look at that. Poor guy. I'm going to swap him out for a female. But they seem to be doing all right. I don't think they're too crowded. They're pretty agitated right now. But now that it's daytime, so we'll swap that one male that's in there out. Here, this cage is completely empty. So we're going to be cleaning this out and preparing for the breeding program. I'm going to turn off my solar right now just so it can soak up some more juice while the sun's out. And let's take a walk around a little bit. Who's chirping in there? Is that you? Oh, Jumbo. Chirp, chirp, chirp. All right, we'll take a look out here now. There's a mess out here. There's some of the chickens. They seem to be getting along, hopefully. Hanging out back here. I got their water system completely full. It's been raining a lot, so I got to pump that before I head into the 9 to 5, so to say. Well, it sounds like everyone got in a big old fight. So Betty is still broody. She's back up in there. And so there still are pecking order problems. Nikki has been completely expelled every time we try and try. Hey, Nikki, how are you this morning? She's hanging out. All my roos are still in here, but there is one female in there as well, so I grabbed one of the wrong ones. We'll swap those out. Hey, great to see you guys all. We got some garden things I'm going to show going on now. Here in New Mexico, at least for me, it is extremely hard to grow the cool weather crops. I don't have a lot of success with that, whether it be bugs or heat. Like our peas this year didn't do too well. I tried to harden them, but the temperatures here at the time of year are dropping into the low 30s and then high 70s in the day. Anywho, here we got some fennel. If you haven't tried that, it tastes a lot like licorice. Really awesome. So what's the play? Oh no, we're not playing right now. Say hi, Solo. All right. There's some carrots popping up. Not all of those came up. I might need to replant. Now this you can see is chewed off completely, that bean. I think that's what happened to a lot of the carrots. You'll see a little theme I'll talk about. This over here is chamomile, and we got some watermelon that I'm going to drape down this way. And let's see, coming around here, got an elderberry. So I got a stick and a bunch of sticks, and this is the only one that survived. And we grew that inside. It'll be a second year out here. Got a lot of catnip over here. Now this helps keep away catnip, helps keep away the roaches and things. Has a lot of medicinal purposes. It's also something that's going to be dried for some of my friends that have cats. All organic. We don't use any chemicals on it. Solo is wanting to play. I don't think we probably have any eggs yet. They usually lay about this time. And so, actually, speaking of, oh, there's Betty. Speaking of the time, I'm considering doing this live stream now that summer's rolling on at 8 o'clock our time. They're getting in fight. At 8 o'clock our time, which would be an hour earlier, just because the sun's up. So we might start that next week, just so everyone knows. You guys are picking on each other. Who are we picking on? They're all three kind of a gang. One of them slightly more of an outsider. I have a cage in here because when the one gets real aggressive, I put her in there for a little bit. See, they'll come over because they know I'm the rooster. Also good as a catnip. Yeah, good as a tea. Okay. We will explore that. So this is Betty's friend. She hangs out in here with Betty because these ones gang up on her. Now they're trying to overassert their dominance. So that's why they're being so aggressive. Once Betty's done with her brooding, I don't think that'll be a problem. Now this here is my red winter wheat. Not a whole lot. It's grown in an 8x8, but I'm learning. And so I learned when to plant it, how to grow it, what it looks like. I can do it a whole lot more compact. I planted it kind of like corn, but now I know I could have done that a lot better. You see a lot of bald spots. That's where the birds also got in, the chicken, and ate a lot of it up. But it's starting to come to head, and so that's exciting. We'll get some wheat, a little bit of straw, enough wheat to replant at least. This is cool. Okay, so this is my motherwort. And if you see these bugs in the garden, they're not bad. And I first started seeing these. Let's see if I can focus it. I thought these were a bad bug. Oh, well, that's going to focus. So that is ladybug larvae. And they're really good. Ladybugs are awesome bugs. They're like little ninjas of the bug world, and they hack the aphids up. Over here we got a few onions that just decided to survive. Not a whole lot. And some sweet potatoes in here. So these are all coming up. And we planted plants in several areas throughout the yard. That way if they get blight or problems or anything like that, it's not everywhere. Now these are Concord grapes. And last year we got about 17 pounds. I got a little bit dizzy. Got about 17 pounds off our Concord grapes last year, so hopefully we'll get more this year. I do need to put in another line up higher and do that pretty quickly. We're kind of expanding out where the chicken can get to. And so let's see, over here, we have some pickling cucumbers that are struggling, but those are all along the fence. There is carrots planted in this bed. Now this bed, one of the neighborhood cats likes to get into. So we'll see how that does. But let's see, back over here, there's a couple of our bean plants again this year or something that have been pulled off or eaten by something that I'll get to in a bit. Over here we have a lot of market cucumbers. These are doing all right. And you'll see some of them have flowers already, and counterintuitive, I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. That's because we don't want the energy going to the flowers right now. We want it going into this plant. And there we go. So I'll start clipping those on and getting them up. Matt, did you know you can eat the grape leaves? So we actually, I think my wife was telling me that. And so, we're going to try that. I don't know how they taste, but we will try it. Right here, there's a few things, some onions. I'm really behind on planting this year as well. Just, life is crazy. These are all Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes that are coming back in here. Not a whole lot back there. Coming around. These are some volunteer. Which one's this one? The rock melon, the cantaloupe. There's a couple other plants growing in here. We'll walk around. Hey, we blanched them and used them for wraps last year. That's what the wife is saying. Treat them like cabbage. Okay, so cabbage is a cool weather crop. One we've actually been successful with this year. So we'll head over there. Come on, Solo, you can come now. We're making our way that way. First, right along here, we got potatoes. So these are Gold Rush potatoes. And the way I've done these boxes this year's with these stones and then just sliding these boards in. I've linseed oiled these boards, the cold compressed linseed oil, and that's to help them preserve them without allowing chemicals that are bad for us to leach into the soil. And so what we do is we let these all grow up over top. You see this side needs to grow a little bit more. Then I'm going to come in and fill it, cover them all with soil, and let the plants grow above that. And so what that will do is allow more potatoes, more tubulars to come out all along this part as well. I didn't put anything like cloth. I was going to do a cloth or something on the other side to cover the cracks, but potatoes like a lot of water and then to drain. And so this actually helps it drain. So I think that's doing really well there. More potatoes, peanuts, which are not coming up yet. I've mulched everything really heavy this year, which has helped with moisture and stuff, but it has aided in our problem there. So let's see. Over here, more potatoes. This is the Gold Rush potato plant that is going to be our first grafting project. If you look around right around here, is our beefsteak tomato plant that's back here hardening. And so I'm going to give it just a little bit longer, let it get a little bit bigger, just a bit. And then we're going to go ahead and graft these two. So I don't know. Everyone wants to see you too. There you go. Here is some elephant garlic. Now, elephant garlic I thought it was bolting like an onion. I didn't do my research. But I guess it'll start to grow a bulb basically on top. And I forget what it's called. Spice of Life can probably put that in there. But you can use those. I ripped it off and threw it because I didn't know that. So my wife kind of got mad. But this is a variety of garlic that does that. This is the elephant garlic. There's a whole bunch of onions. Those are coming up after our first garlic harvest we got from there. Over here we got beans, and there were more peas, but if you will look at what's happening, you'll probably start to guess what our problem is. You don't see it right now. Maybe if I do this, you will. There's a worm and one of these roly-polies. Over here, more beans. There's okra. This has been kind of getting mowed down too, so now we can address this problem. Look at my peach tree. We grew this from a peach a couple years ago. I ate a peach from the in-laws and threw it on the ground, the pit on the ground. And I've actually moved the tree around, but man, look at that. Garlic scapes, yep. This here, I forget which one this medicinal one is. I'll have to look what that was. But these are two different varieties of yarrow. This is an amazing plant. We talked about a lot last year, but I'm going to do a better video this year because what you really want is the flowers. I'm going to let those go a little bit longer. Yarrow can be easily mistaken, so when we talk about that, we'll mention all those things because it can also be mistaken for hemlock, which is not good. There's some more pickling cucumbers. These ones are doing a little bit better over here, hopefully. This is actually chia over here and a couple peas. So we got one of our lavender plants here. And here is now this plant, we bought some plants, a lot of them we do from seed, but I'll kind of talk about that a little bit. So here we got a sweet mint. This is the yerba, and that's important. I don't know how well that's showing. So that's growing. We got a little bit of, I think this is the thyme in here, and the lavender, so it's going to be a kind of a tea thing. We got some more thyme and sage over here. This is one of my big pots. You can probably guess what this is. One of my favorite plants. This is a big pot. It's going to grow us lots of buzz buttons. There's a lot we're going to do with this year. Coming around here, these are two other plots we've struggled with. These are supposed to be cool weather. Excuse me. So all along here we're doing peas, and you can kind of see them. They're coming back. They might come back and do okay. We've gotten a few peas off of them, but they've been getting eaten and then kind of shocked by the weather. All the little plants you see in front, these are all different radishes. And lettuces coming in here and get eaten up. We're going to hop over to this other bin, and you're probably going to discover what the problem is. All different radishes. So this is supposed to have parsnip. There's supposed to be spinach and things in here. You see lots of volunteer lettuce. Doing good. But all these got, they didn't grow. And now I'm thinking they got eaten down. You may be wondering, what is this? Well, this is a container of beer. that my wife put out, and I don't know if the bugs can get into it. We might need to put it somewhere else. But supposedly roly-polies like beer. And so when I first started gardening, one of the things you discover with doing it is I thought the roly-polies were neat little bugs in there. They will quickly overcome the garden. They will eat all the dead things and then start mowing down all your new things. So we're trying several methods to get rid of them. I do have a pretty good infestation, so I may have to use the Sluggo, which is I believe a natural killer. But all right, so let's pull this up. This is one of the cool weather crops that is doing really well this year, and we have put it under this net this year so the bugs won't eat it up. These are our cabbages. So I don't know how well that's going to show, but man, I'm hoping these do good. Get some good cabbage, sauerkraut, and we'll either get rid of the bugs or we'll transplant some plants in the front here. Heading over, we got our broccoli, and we do need to plant in front of it, but broccoli's doing great as well, actually. And over here, there's some things my wife planted in front here, kind of popping up. Some of them may be being eaten, but let's see. And I'm sorry I'm standing in the sun right now. There's blackberry, we got 2 blueberry and a raspberry back there. More sage. Along this back wall is sunflowers, the mammoth. And here I think is aromath that's coming back and some weeds I need to pull. We left a lot of the mulch on the ground this year, and like I said, that's helped with moisture, but that's also allowed the roly-polies to hide in there. So I planted in here, but I think they're one of the plants that's being eaten is the thumb watermelons, or the gooks, I think they're called. I may be mispronouncing that, I'm not sure. But anyhow, and they're supposed to grow up this old Christmas tree stand. And here we still need to plant a few things. This is where a lot of mints go, but thanks to Verna's advice, we're going to be switching to more container for the mint. But in here we got lemon mint, sweet mint, lemon balm. There is Greek oregano, rosemary, peppermint. Here is our Korean goji berries. It's their second year, so those are going. All the peppers need to go in here, and they haven't been put in here yet. A couple cauliflowers, a lot of lettuces, a lot of it's that taken a while to grow. Again, different problem. But coming up, that's all right. These are our snake gourds, our Kakuzi plant. And so I put 2 of them in case one dies. I really only want 1 this year. We did 1 last year and it was just way too much. So they're going to grow up this post and hang off here. And I'm going to keep like 1 or 2 or 3 of them. And here are some plants. These are some we did buy as well, just because we got behind this year. And now we want to seed save. We want to grow them from seed and know how to do that, definitely. But right now we can buy some, so. But there's a serrano, some bell pepper, ghost peppers, jalapenos, different things in here. Sorry. Let's see, over here we got tomatoes. And this is these ones we did buy too. Now the beefsteak tomatoes, the determinants I planted from seed. Most of these indeterminants I did not though. So this is, I believe, this is the cherry, yeah. And it's got a little flower. I'm gonna pop off. No fruiting yet. So we've got a couple cherries, 2 of them. This was actually 1 plant I broke in half, and that's doing well. Good thing about tomatoes is you can take the suckers or the stems and plant those. You can propagate them and they'll keep going. Here we got a celebrity hybrid. A celebrity hybrid. Something needs to go in here. Something needs to go in here. And here we got a little bit of parsley. And all along these, there's basil and different things planted that will come up. My gardenoia. These are ones we did from seed. This is the beefsteak tomatoes and yellow pear. Yeah. And in here are Brussels sprouts that are going to be popping up. Egyptian walking onions, which actually look now they're flowering and it's starting to grow its head. So these will bulb on top and then they'll get heavy and they fall over and they'll walk. And so they go throughout the garden. They also bulb on the bottom. But really cool one. Just make sure that the suckers do not have flowers on them until the roots establish. Yep, I'm going through and picking off those roots. This here's my muscadine grape, and there's a lot of mess over there. Sorry. This is the lonely muscadine grape plant, one of the first ones we planted here. And first plants we planted. It's moved all around the yard. I'm so surprised it's alive. It gives us quite a few, but this plant is pretty much Farmer Casey's. He eats all these before we see them. And there's a lot of things planted back here. I'm not sure what. More elephant garlic. Look at that onion. Ooh-wee. That's a nice onion. So that's some of it. There's some other things, but and of course a whole lot more to go. Once we can get this tea going. Got Dizzy standing up again. I need more water. One moment. Okay. Once we can get business going and farmers markets and some of the things we want to do, hopefully I can kick that 9 to 5 to the curb and then have the proper time to do this stuff. So speaking of tea, I'm going to go ahead and cut feed. We're going to head inside with Farmer Casey and do some chat there. So we'll be right back. How do I can You're live.
I don't know. That shit is piping hot.
Very careful. Scoot you for a sec so I can get in.
My green screen doesn't seem to be working too well.
Yeah, it's having issues. They were telling me that last night too. So I probably should have taken it down. Everyone's just going to have to bear with it. Now remember, we got to look at the camera, not the TV screen. So I'll probably turn the screen off in a moment to help us. But first, let's get into some comments. Hey, where'd that come from?
Savvy B said, Casey!
Casey, we got Verna's in here too. Verna says, spice, when okra pods are only 4 inches, they taste wonderful raw. All right, so I'm going to turn this off. So we won't see your guys' comments for just a moment, but we'll hop back into them. That's just to help us with focus. And so let's get to that. All right. Well, hello. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Farmer Casey, and I like this homestead.
We got to speak a little louder, though, so they can hear us, okay?
I like this homestead channel, and I'm Farmer Casey.
There you go. Yep. And what are we going to do this morning?
We are going to taste test some tea.
We're going to have some tea. So this, we've talked about this guy a little bit lately. We've been watching a lot of his videos because he does something in the desert too. Let's try not to smack it. He does something in the desert too that kind of like we want to start, right? And so we don't want to copy, but we want to draw inspiration and encourage and then also support other small business and things, right?
Yeah.
So he has some cool products out. He actually has teas out. So I thought, well, we've been drinking tea. What better thing than to try one, right? Yeah. So this here is his blue tea, I believe. And we're going to try some of this. We got our tea bags. We got our spoon.
And apparently
we got some honey.
And we're pretty sure, but
we got our lemons. And I'll show you why we got lemons.
We don't quite know, or I don't quite know, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to change color.
Well, let's try it.
Changing color.
Okay, so he sealed this well. That's going to keep in the freshness. Well, I don't have my scissors. I do have my scissors. Look at that.
Yeah, Daddy, you have your scissors.
So what have you been up to this week?
I have something at my school called Play Day.
Play Day? A little louder.
I have something at my school called Play Day.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a day of where we play and it's the day where we play like tug of war,
Solo,
and it's a game where we like play tug of war, and then we rotate, and then we play, and then like we play on the water slide, and it's just it's just kind of it's like
That was Friday?
What's Friday? It was really fun. I brought my snorkel. Mom kind of was like, "Oh, why'd you bring your snorkel?"
You brought your snorkel? Try stop spinning.
Even though we weren't even going to a pool.
Yeah, you wore your snorkel at the play day. And then we did, what was that before that we did? You want to tell them about the Old Town Farm?
Yeah. So we went to this cool like barn, and it had and it was really really cool. And there's something called Hawks Loft, and it's where like they bring in birds and treat them until they can let them go. But sometimes they keep them because they're already too used to humans, or they like don't know how to hunt.
We helped rehabilitate the birds.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot about. We saw the plants, right?
Yeah. There is even one of where he was just in a cage drinking water and scrambled eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day.
Yeah. So what did you learn about some of the plants that we saw there? They had some greenhouses.
Yeah, they had some greenhouses, and pretty sure they say like they get like millions or thousands of plants.
Millions or thousands? Well, they had plants, and they were growing, and they had a chef at a restaurant that would come out and pick them, right?
And we learned about the wonders of the special weed called...
Which one was that?
Vineweed.
Vineweed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the weed that... Oh, I got caught on my pants.
We learned
the chair got me.
We learned about vineweed, and
Vineweed.
if you guys don't know what it is, it's a pretty bad...
So it's an invasive weed. So what's invasive mean?
I do not remember.
That means it'll take over, right? It'll
wrap itself around plants, pretty much chokes them.
Yeah, it'll choke them out.
And if you don't rip it, and their roots can grow didn't it say 10 feet long or something?
Yeah, so in New Mexico, it's a real big problem. Do you remember what they do to get rid of it?
They put tarps and stuff over it.
They'll put tarps or cardboard.
The holes.
Yeah, and so that kind of smothers it, right?
Also, if you tear like a vine off, it'll actually sprout 5 vines from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you and you can't pull it from the root because it's 10 feet long.
And so we got our snail, we got our tea bag, proud plant parent, and so it's turning blue. We're gonna let it steep though for a little bit longer.
Mine's not turning blue because it's not in.
Well, here, help me help. And so we learned about that. Let's see what else. They had their peach trees too, but do you remember why she said they didn't have peaches?
Because I don't know.
Well, because of the weather, they flowered too early. Like happens, I guess, to a lot of people.
Oh.
And then it got cold, and New Mexico tends to do that. And so then all the blossoms fell off, right? Yeah. And that may have happened to our tree a little bit, but we have, I think, how many peaches?
That's probably what happened last year, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the peach trees, too, or the stone fruit trees, I think, are plants that need, several of them.
Yeah, Dad.
So when we have a homestead, we want to plant a small little orchard, huh?
It's like...
Do you remember why we called ourselves the Spicy Peach Farms when we started?
Because we had spicy peaches.
We had the peaches and the cayenne peppers.
Yeah.
And we kind of eat everything in New Mexico here with chili. You don't, but most people do.
Look at that. It's turning blue.
That is really cool.
You might not see it because of the green screen.
Yeah.
But
thanks, John. And so we paid for this again. And, we don't have anything to do with him, so we don't want to misrepresent him or anything like that. But we do enjoy supporting small local guys. And it looks like he has an amazing product. So I've been taking his tonic in the morning. And I showed you that this morning, right? But we haven't tried the tea yet.
And it helps us a lot.
It helps me get going, yeah. So I think I might have, they told me when I was in the hospital I had some hypertension, I think. I don't know. But anyhow, it's to regulate your blood pressure, the stuff that's in it. It's got beetroot. You like the beet leaves, remember?
This morning, he's usually in the mornings he acts like a zombie, but today it's like, okay, we need to do stuff.
I haven't been a zombie this week. Well, I've also skipped that first cup of coffee. So coffee is caffeine.
Yeah.
Isn't good for you when you're growing. When you're older, sometimes people can drink too much. I'm not giving it up. I still like my coffee, but I'm skipping that first cup and actually for 90 minutes and drinking this tonic and a glass of water. And that's been helping me, or tea, but that's been helping me really feel more energy, definitely.
Can I say 3 things that could make you faint?
Are they appropriate?
Yes.
Okay.
If you stare at the sun for 2 minutes, it'll make you faint.
Will it?
If you
Say it louder so people
if
can
you-
hear.
If you stand for 6 hours straight without moving, you'll also faint.
Okay.
And if you drink like 6 to 7 cups of coffee, you'll faint.
6 to 7 cups. I believe that. So I have a problem sometimes with drinking too much coffee. I'm trying to work on that, but it will start to make me jittery. I've already had 2 cups this morning.
Yeah. That's
Okay, so let's take a look at them. I might give you this one, but they're getting really blue. They look really cool.
yeah. Hey, do you
So I'm
want
going to
to
taste it first just like this. Then we'll add honey and lemon.
Okay.
You want to look at comment for a sec?
Let's look
Okay.
at some comments.
We'll hop into comment for a minute while we let this go
Wait,
for a little bit more.
I want to put in the honey
Well, not quite.
and the lemon.
We're going to taste it in three ways.
Okay, let's see.
All right, let's see.
Vay's face says, Casey.
Hey, look, Grandpa, in Texas, Grandpa Paul's here.
Oh,
Hey, how you doing, Dad? Yeah, that is awesome.
Vineweed
You
is
love our
bad
tea.
as Vineweed is bad as mint level.
So this tea here is blue tea. I'm not sure exactly what's in this one, but it is from Frugal Off Grid. So we're trying this out today. It does have butterfly pea flower in it, though.
Spice of Life Family says lemon water can also replace coffee in the morning to help
Yeah,
digestion.
put some lemon in it.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to take Lucy for a walk, then feed Lucy, and then put on the coffee and feed the other animals before I get my first
Oh,
cup
see?
of coffee.
So Verna's doing it.
What's
okay.
the tea?
So we'll hop back. Good morning, everyone. If we missed anyone, good morning. So good to have you guys here. I'm going to turn the screen off again. We'll hop back into comments, but let's try this. Okay. So first, we're going to try the blue tea plain. So let's take a little sip.
I can't. Mine's piping hot.
It's not as bad. Just be careful. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's real light. This I like a lot. Okay, so I'm going to have to keep purchasing his tea. All right, you going to put a little bit of honey in mine? Just a little bit. There we go.
A little bit.
I'm going to stir that. Put a little bit in yours. And so as the plants get growing in the yard and the herbs, Casey will be joining me out there with the plant walk-arounds. Oh, and you did a little bit of lemon right away? Okay. And so we'll be picking herbs and then making our teas. But right now we're just showing. We also have Verna's cookbook that we're going to be working through. So we're going to be starting that this week and doing quail recipes. The first one's going to be a video. Next Sunday, though, I think we're going to cook something on our stream. So we're going to put some lemon in here. And so the acidity, I believe, in his videos. Oh, yours is doing it. That is cool. Thank you, John. Look at that.
It's purple now.
Look at our blue tea.
It's purple.
I hope you guys can see the color.
It's purple.
It's purple.
How did it turn
The
purple?
lemon, it's acidic, so it changed it. All right, so let's try it now.
What? Next thing you know, it's gonna
Look
turn
at that.
Next thing you know, it's gonna turn red.
Well, he has a red tea. Look at this. That's what we're going to be trying next
Oh my
week.
god.
We're going to be trying red tea next week. Okay. I don't think that one changes, but
Mmm.
it's a good tea, John.
Need a little bit more lemon.
I don't know him personally. I say his name like I do. It's just his channel. I'd say Mr. Frugal Off Grid, I guess. Yeah. So he has a great product. That's awesome. So I think the first one we're going to do, you wanted to do one of your morning ones, right? Yep. So we're going to do kind of like a lemon zinger one, I think, for our first tea, right?
Yeah, mine's turning the dark.
And we might have some thyme in it. Verna saying catnip, she was saying while I was out there, makes a good tea. And I didn't know time actually. I'm learning a lot. I don't know. I'm pretty dense, I guess, but Mom was telling us there that the time would go really well. So we're still coming up with our recipes, right? But I think that first one we want to try like a lemon zinger type.
Next thing you know, it's gonna be lemon.
This is really good though. So he actually drinks it cold. He lets it kind of do like in the sun in a mason jar.
Yeah.
On his video. Well, you've seen that video, those videos, and so then he drinks it cold, and I could see how this would be well cold.
Yeah.
So let's hop in chat again because we don't have too long.
I'm going to leave real quick.
Oh, okay. We'll excuse you. Very good. Very good tea. I could drink that all day. Catnip is a relaxing tea. Okay. So we're doing, like I've said here, we're going to be doing two brands or two offshoots of our teas. We'll have grafted teas, which are ones that are all organic, but a lot of that is materials I source just because so I can scale kind of and get things started right away while we're growing things. Then we're going to have Farmer Casey's Gourmet Garden Teas. Those will be all from our yard here, all organically grown here, and recipes that Casey is very heavily involved in putting together. So we're excited for that. One of the ones I'm doing, though, with the grafted teas is I want to put out a relaxing tea as one of my first ones, kind of an evening tea. So I might include catnip in that. We want to, even though I'll be sourcing a lot of those ingredients that we don't have, the things we do have, I still want to use. And so that's the goal. What is the flavor of the tea? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what flavor? I drank all mine.
Hey,
Would you
don't
shut the
drink
door?
Mine.
All right. Let me see. What is the flavor?
Also, Daddy, we need to start making colored teas or something.
So I can definitely taste the lemon and the honey I put in it.
Yeah.
It's really mild and smooth.
Yeah.
There might be lavender in it. Tastes like there's probably some lavender.
It kind of tastes like if you were.
So I know
looking at
lavender and the pea plant he used. Very nice. We have a tea. We use a lavender and rosemary. So the one I think Grandpa Paul got there was a, I believe we used thyme. We may have put peppermint in that one. It was a rosemary and lavender, I think. Great tea. I can't really explain the taste. I don't know. You gotta buy it. Let's see.
Tastes like how lavender looks.
I don't know. It's aromatic. It's mild. Not overpowering at all. I've also learned, thanks to my wife, that I've been packing our tea bags too full, I think. So that helps. It's really enjoyable, though. So this would just be a good one to drink, I think, kind of any time. Yeah. All right. Well, we're not on too long this morning. We're only going to be on for a few more minutes here.
So,
I got a lot of cleaning I got to get to, and then I got to work my normal job I'm trying to get away from, right?
So if you have anything to say right now.
Oh, okay. So we'll open it to comments. We fed your Venus flytrap. Anything anyone wants to say? How are you guys doing? How's your weather? Any things we can share in successes or prayers or really anything, right? So I have to get more ink to print out Verna's book. Now we could just look at it because it's PDF so we can get it immediate. That's awesome. But we're going to decide what the first, don't do that. It looks strange. Don't do that.
Lemon sour.
Okay. Thank you. So we're going to try, we got to pick out what the first thing we're going to do is, and let's look at the camera.
This place says, what am I eating?
So if Verna, he's eating lemons, that's why he's giving this face. No, I asked you to stop though. But Verna, if you have a suggestion on a first thing to start, otherwise we'll be going through that book. I'm drinking your tea.
No.
Well, mine's gone. All right. We do want to do one of the first things I think in the video we're going to do is the pickle.
Okay, fine.
One of the pickled. Well, look, now mine's blue again. So we're going to have it blue again.
What if we mix the purple with the blue?
Well, it's just the acidity, so I'm thinking we can try. I'm thinking it's just going to turn it a light purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So spices. She knows. We had made a sweet mint, chamomile, thyme, and peppermint. So yeah, I was close, I think. If you really like that blend, that might be one of the ones we kind of go with. Verna's saying there are many egg casserole type meals or breakfast bites. We can do some quail breakfast bites next week.
Mhm.
One of those.
We haven't been making a lot of food. Well, that's probably because of winter, though.
Well, I almost talked and spilled that everywhere. So depending on the time of year, we're going to have to, I'm learning, we're going to have to kind of change our show a little bit, right? So in the winter, we'll do more cooking. In the spring, we'll kind of do like we're doing now. As summer rolls on, you and me will be out in the garden more, picking the things and making our tea. And then as fall rolls on, it's a lot of harvesting.
And spring, pretty much like both winter and summer.
Now in the fall is when we'll be throughout the summer rolling out more of our shop and getting things up and teas going and stuff. But our big opening or rollout we plan will be around harvest time because most of the things are going to be coming from here, hopefully. Small batch, right?
Right.
Are you excited for that? Yeah. So I was going to play your commercial, but they keep copyrighting it, even though we own the software that has the music.
What does it mean?
So that means they keep saying we're stealing someone's property. They said that about last week's stream, and I didn't play any videos at all. So I'm not sure whose property I stole. Yeah. I don't know. So we have to redo the commercial, and I got to figure out how to prevent that.
Yeah, do you think it was like a trying something?
I don't know what it was. I think it's something to do with the music in your video, for sure. But I don't know what last week's was. Yep. Look, we got 7 people in here. Mm-hmm. So it's a beautiful morning here in New Mexico. Let's see. Let's look at our weather. I think it's supposed to rain later. So this time of year is kind of monsoon season. So it's nice in the morning, the day, right? And then the storms roll in at night. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. It happens twice a year here.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't rain the rest of the year. So we are collecting water. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As much as we can. So our biggest problem here is we don't have a water source besides city water and a little bit of rainwater. We need a well or a stream.
It's like...
Okay, so the rain's supposed to start at 2.
Okay.
But let's see, today's high here for us is going to be 76 and the low is going to be 55. And it's supposed to be thunderstorms today and tomorrow.
Thunderstorms?
Mm-hmm.
Clear.
It hailed last night. I was out in the shed cleaning doing some things, and I got caught in a hailstorm, and they were big. So last year around this time, we had a lot of spinach going. That was pretty successful, and the hail wiped a lot of it out. So that was concerning. But anyways, I text mom and that I got stuck. Don't do that. That I got stuck. And so she came running out in it to save me. I think she thought I was locked in the chicken coop or something, but I wasn't actually stuck. And she brought Solo out, so then he got stuck. Wait, no more lemon. That's not too good for you to be doing.
Can I eat the seeds?
Yeah, it's bad for your teeth, Mom's saying. No more lemon. Here, Casey, please. Thank you. We're not going to be on much longer here, though, only for another minute. Verna's saying, Casey, take a piece of peppermint candy, cut the lemon in half, and put a peppermint candy in the center of the lemon. It makes it interesting when eating lemons. We'll have to get a peppermint. We don't have a peppermint candy. We'll have to get some.
Do we have any? No, you do have candy canes. Come do that today.
Well, you'll have to ask Mom. Okay, we're going to hop off. All right?
Bye.
No, bye.
Getting locked in the chicken coop happens.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you, Verna, for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa Paul, for showing up. That's awesome. So we loved having you in here. Thank you, CDB, for moderating and Verna moderating as well as always. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Anyone else I missed? Don't see. And Psych was here. I don't know if he still is, but yeah, Psych, have a good day. So him and Age may be watching there. So we'll cheers here. We're going to tell everyone. You want to say the thing before we do our like and subscribe? Wait, let me set this up real quick because I don't have it ready. Why don't you tell people our little thing or your little thing? Wait 1 sec. It's going to start. Just a sec. I got to stop it. Okay, there we go. You got it. Yeah, do that. You can do your version. I change it every week. Tell the camera though. Please. That's what you want me to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay strong and do the thing.
Stay strong, do the things, go at this week with purpose and make it count. Cheers. All right. Oh, and thank you, Frugal Off Grid, for making a good tea we tried. And for the spaghetti squash plant we planted.
Are we gonna play the video now?
Yep, we're going to play it. Yes, it is. It is. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember, on your way out,
Stay.
Maybe.
Remember
Yeah,
to
play
hit
it.
the
Go
thumbs
again,
up and subscribe.
Chewy.
Party pooper.